So introduction to CBM for assessment in eLEAP. Like I've said just now, CBM is already there in our eLEAP, but it is underutilized. So I would like to introduce this function for us, and I will demo in eLEAP after we go through some of the introduction. Yeah. So the title here is relation to CBM for assessment in eLEAP, making your students think before answering. So after I've gone through reading the introductions, the knowledge, that the general info about CBM, it is very good for us to gauge the knowledge of the class after each class, if possible, or in general for important concepts of the course. Okay. All right. So today we'll go through a little bit on what is CBM, what's the full name, what's the original name, and how it is used in students' assessment. And then after that, we will go through a short demo. I call it short demo because it is very easy to do. You just change the option when you create the quizzes, how to apply CBM in eLEAP assessments. Yeah, so I will show step by step, and then we will have some dummy student accounts to answer the quiz. Okay, I will create the quiz, and I will use a dummy account to answer the quiz, and then we will see how to interpret the results in the quiz marks. Okay. So what is certainty-based marking? Okay, so confidence judgment make alongside test answers can stimulate more careful thinking, assisting learning and recall. So for this workshop, I will take the examples from my class, how my students were, because I teach database every semester. So I know which batch are kind of okay, which batch are actually understands the thing they learn from the first of the SEM until the end. And there are some students who knows how to repeat us. They know what they know, but actually they don't really understand it. If we change the question, if we trick them into answering something a little different, they already gelabah. They don't know how to, how to connect the dots, right? So students need understanding, the knowledge of how different facts relate and how they can be used to check one another. So I have a colleague here, two colleagues from SDS, and one of them asked, can this be applied to chemistry? Of course, we can, because everything that we teach, there are some facts in the course, and CBM is just a means to see whether they confidently, they really know what they are learning, or they are just doing rote learning, like going through the motions, Googling and pasting the answers and so on. So the concept was introduced by Professor Emeritus Tony Gardner-Medwin from UCL. Okay, so originally CBM was called confidence-based marking, but the name changed after a while, and he actually, you can search his publications on CBM. It is an extensive of work. There are some tests and results that they actually interpret. Yeah. So when the name changed to certainty-based marking, the aims and principles have not changed. It's just a change of story. Probably they find out judging certainty. Certainty is a degree of knowledge. Like how confident are you? How sure are you of this knowledge? Okay. All right. So the aim for CBM is to improve both reliability and competency-based assessment, and then the effectiveness of student self-test, meaning after we have a class, we can give them some 5-question quiz with CBM to actually see how well they actually focus or how well they understand our class just now. Okay, so it is effective to be used as self-test, as learning tool, and it provides more reliable assessment than simple right or wrong marking. Because right or wrong, we actually don't know if the students have lucky guesses, or if they are actually, they are confident that that is the correct answer. So CBM will always ask the students, if we have quiz with CBM settings, they will always ask students, stop, how sure are you of this answer? Okay, so this thing, it's challenging the student to look for justification and reservation, aspects of knowledge seldom explored in objective testing. So from here, you can see that CBM is applied mostly on MCQs, but I think we can also apply them to like short answers or essay. Yeah? Not essay, like for database, we use essay format for diagram submission, but we can also apply CBM. All right, so this is an extract of, you guys can hear me, right? Like, because Miss Ling cakap tak dengar. Dengar kan?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, so this is an extraction of slides from Professor Tom. What is knowledge? Okay, so we have knowledge, uncertainty, ignorance, misconception, and delusion. I have a lot of misconception from my class. Ignorance, yes, a degree of them. Only a small, the students who will always get A, probably they have knowledge, and or probably they really understand this. And only a certain amount of students in class, it's not enough to help me, because I always encourage students teaching other students in order for them to understand better. So when you do, you learn. Okay, so this one, decreasing confidence in what is true, increasing confidence in what is false. The more we go down this, yeah. So according to this professor, knowledge is justified through belief. Certainty is the degree of belief of this knowledge. And in order to confirm the certainty level, they have to find justification, which requires understanding, to be able to connect the dots. Okay. So just now, all this while I'm talking to the camera, but the camera is not even. Okay. So what is understanding? So to understand is to link correctly the facts that bear on an issue. So this is how we can tell a student from a parrot. I love this statement, because a parrot just repeats whatever you say, but a student actually goes through the process of understanding, learning, applying, synthesizing all of our Bloom taxonomy, what we hope for to be achieved by students. Okay, so these are the nuggets of knowledge, what we get from what they get from our classes, our tutorial, our lab, and so on. And they create a network of understanding. And then when we give them tests or quizzes, so they need to be sure of their own certainty on that knowledge, and then make a choice. Right? So CBM places greater demands on justification, thereby stimulating understanding. Like they have to dig in on betul what I understand, without going directly to the lecture, and then we repeat again what we teach in class, what we taught in class, and then when they go back to their friends, they repeat the wrong thing. Okay. All right. So why use CBM? Look at this diagram here. I have these two kinds of students in my class all the time. I bet you do too. So 2 plus 2, the left students maybe 4. Okay, so when we talk to our students, when they try to repeat whatever they understand and they want to clarify with us, they will end their sentence with a question tone. I think something like this. I don't know if you experienced that, but it's certainly I have these kind of students. It is correct, but they are not confident at all. Yes, they think. I think, but they are the ones that did well. That did well in exams, that did well in quiz, but they don't have the confidence on the degree of knowledge. Okay, but we also have this kind of students, 2 plus 2, 22. Okay, I'm very confident it's 22. Okay, but they are actually totally wrong. Okay, like I have students where I teach them step by step. This is a step by step action, and then they can repeat and then go the other way around very confidently. Okay, like it's totally wrong. Like I've wasted my ILO to explain this thing. Okay, but these are our students. Okay, so knowledge is knowing what you know and what you don't know. So we have students that they are not sure they know it. Okay, so why use CBM? Okay, first one is to make students think about how reliable their answer is. Like 2 plus 2, 4, 4.5, 4. I think it's 4. I check calculator, it's 4. I tried the manual method, also it's 4. 4 lah. I like 4 lah is you're not that totally confident. You're like maybe in the middle or maybe unsure of your answer. To encourage students to try to understand the issues. This is what I see the lack of skills in, at least in my class. Okay, they don't have strong foundation of the problem, especially in my final year project students. Repeatedly, I said you have to have strong knowledge of the problem, then you know how to create a solution. You will not be stuck. So if they are stuck somewhere in the middle, for example, for FYP, there is something it's not connected. The underlying lah, they don't understand the problem, they don't understand the connection of objective to methodology and so on and so forth. But there is no way for us to know for sure because some students, they are very reserved. They don't want to, they don't want to be appear needy, always, mengadu and so on. But if we have something that they can answer and we apply CBM, from their results, maybe we can understand the actual certainty of knowledge of these students. Okay, so they need to try to understand the issues, not just react immediately to a question. Okay, the third one is to challenge. If a student won't risk losing marks if wrong, then they don't really know the answer. This one can be explained after this in another slide. If a student won't risk losing marks if they are wrong, then they don't really know the answer. Like if you know, when you answer quiz, if you know it is probably wrong, but you don't lose anything, you just don't get the mark, it is okay. But if you know, if you choose a wrong answer and you will be penalized for this wrong answer, you will be more careful. Okay, this is human nature. Okay, so if a student is a careful thinker but not very confident, so we have these good students a lot in our class, at least in my class, okay, because they have this belief from seniors that database course is hard to score. I don't know where they get this belief, but it's actually easy if you understand the concepts. But when they have this belief at the back of their head, they will be less confident in the course. Like they already said, okay, if I get B, then it's fine. It's a hard course, for example. But if with CBM, maybe they will gain in confidence. Okay. So CBM provides a fair, a thoughtful and confident correct answer that deserves more marks than a lucky hunch. So a lucky hunch is you answer correct, but then your CBM tells that you are not very sure. So there will be marks for this kind of students, and then there will be extra marks for correct answer, very confident of this correct answer. Okay. Students need to pay attention if they make confident wrong answers. Okay, if they see this the CBM results, they will think, reflect, and learn. Oh, I was really confident 2 plus 2 is 22, but I was wrong. Okay, now I have to get back to basic addition and subtraction to know what is the answer for 2 plus 2, for example. So efficient study requires constantly questioning how our idea arise and how reliable they are. All right, so how does CBM work? Okay, so this is a table for CBM introduced by the professor. So we only have 3 levels, C1, C2, and C3. So this is the term. C1 is low certainty. C2 is middle, probably correct, but probably not. And C3 is very confident on the answer. In eLEAP, I've checked, there's no option for no reply. So they only have these 3 certainty levels. Okay. So 3 certainty levels identified by numbers C1, C2, C3 with neutral terms. So the professor stated somewhere in his publication that they didn't want to use sure, unsure, because these terms means very different for many people. Okay, so they use these neutral terms, low, medium, and high. Okay, so let's say the students answer correctly, but unsure of the answer, they will get 1 mark. 1 mark of for the question. Okay, if it's correct, but they are only 50% sure, they will get 2 marks. But if they are confident, they will get 3 marks. Okay, let's say you have a quiz and each question is 1 mark each. So you have 4 questions, the full mark is 4. But if the students are correct for all 4 and very confident, he or she will get 12 marks, meaning 3 multiplied by 4 questions. So it's a huge gap of original marks and the CBM marks. But the penalty exists. This is where it is kind of special and it gives very much information if we look at the results. Okay, if the answer is wrong, but the students are not sure, they choose C1, they will not be penalized for the wrong answer. But if they are not sure and then it's wrong, the marks will be -2, meaning whatever marks you have, it will be -2. And if you are very confident, like 2 plus 2, you said 22, and I'm very confident it's 22, you will get -6. Okay, so if it depends on how much weightage you put on the question. If one question is 2 marks, meaning the penalty, if wrong and high confidence level, will give -12 marks. Okay, so for the example purposes, I will use 1 mark each. Okay. All right, so if you have any questions, just type in the chat box. I will go through it. All right, so in our faculty or in UNIMAS, where I suggest to use CBM. Okay, I suggest we can use it for students self-test, like after a class, you give 3-4 questions with CBM, with feedback, because usually when we do midterm, we always hide the feedback, right? It's like mimicking the normal exam. But CBM is very good for them to see their own result as well, like how confident you are, how not confident, how unsure you are, and so on. So self-test on topics we want the students to have strong foundation, like the basics, the fundamental things. Quick quizzes after each chapter to test their immediate understanding. Like for online lectures, like we are 100% online now, this is a good way that they have to, like, a task after each class. They need to answer some questions. You can give the degree a difficult, easy questions, medium, and then difficult. Okay, so we can see how to proceed for the next class. No, not just as lectures, we don't also go through the questions. Like whatever happens in the end, student fail lah. But we don't know which part they don't understand. This is the problem of our students. They don't know which part they don't understand. And then if we ask Do you have any questions? No. And then I would like to end this session and everything go, thank you, madam, thank you, madam, thank you very much. Then they talk like birds. But if we ask, do you actually understand? Do you have any questions on wherever, which part? No answer at all, because possibility of them not understanding anything is there. Okay. So if you want to apply CBM, I don't suggest to use for the real continuous assessment yet, unless we understand how to use it. The students understand the risk that they might lose many marks when undergoing this. So I suggest for this next semester, probably we can just try it out in our class, see how well our what do you say, our connection with our own students. Yeah. All right. So benefit for us. What is the benefit for lecturers, instructors when using CBM? So the first one, we know that students have a range of different strengths and weaknesses. So CBM can give us the bird's eye view, the overall view of what kind of topic they are not strong, and then which part they love, or they, because they will understand if they love that topic. Yeah? So CBM makes a diverse mixture of questions work well. Okay. Weak students are encouraged by identifying their strengths as well as weaknesses. So because of this statement, it is good that if we apply CBM, they can see their own marks at the end of the quiz or the task. Yeah? Teachers or lecturers will get useful feedback about question quality. It's very important, question quality, helping the elimination of ambiguities and improvement of explanation. So if we have question quality, such as Google quality, like you can easily find that word by word in Google, of course, they will answer correctly with high confidence. If we have everything very high marks in CBM, it probably reflects back on us, on how well we design our questions. Okay, so basically, this is a good place to start CBM. Yeah? So feedback to teachers can be striking. A surprising number of correct answers to easy questions may be accompanied by low certainty ratings, C1, C2, which indicates insecurity in understanding. Like they probably know, but they don't really, they're not really confident. So I think it helps us to actually encourage them. This is correct. Please be confident in your understanding. And then an unforeseen bonus arising from the use of -6 penalties with CBM has been the readiness with which students will try to justify in the comments why they choose confident with a wrong answer. So probably they will justify themselves on their marks, but it is helpful in improving exercises, improving justification. Like students can make justification, so they can improve in that skill as well. So this one is taken from one of Professor Gardner published papers. Okay, so these are the students' perspective when they use CBM. Okay. So they said CBM rewards thinking about how to justify an answer, thereby developing relationship between the different nuggets of knowledge far better than the rote learning of facts. So rote learning of facts basically like menghafal, like you memorize things, but you don't really know how to apply. Okay, so some students said it rewards identification of uncertainties and inconsistencies in one's thinking, leading to more effective study. The third one, lucky guesses are not the same as knowledge. Student can be lucky all the time, and then at the final exam, he or she flop, and we wonder why. Okay, students recognize that they should not get the same credit. Teachers and examiners should recognize this too. And this one is the one that I like. Confident misconceptions are serious, even dangerous. When studying, a penalty is a wake-up call for the students. Okay. Triggering reflection and attention to explanation. We learn through mistakes, especially bad ones. And the last one is also my favorite. Quoting student comments from an early evaluation study. It stops you making rush answers. Simple 5-word question might make students think more than 1 minute just because of the certainty level. You can assess how well you really understand the topic. Okay? That's why I said it's good if we make it as task after each class. It makes one think. It can be quite a shock to get a -6. You are forced to concentrate. So I like this part of the student's perspective. Yeah? Maybe we can have this kind of thing in our courses. Right, so far, how do you think? Is it interesting? I don't know if only I think this is interesting. Okay, but we will go through the example, how to create it in eLEAP. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, so CBM addresses some of the key elements of knowledge and understanding. This is our major theme in education. Core concept of CBM is rewarding accurate judgment of reliability of answers. CBM assists learning and understanding and leads to more fair assessment. Okay, and this is important. Knowledge is not a binary thing. You know it or you don't. You may know something, but you don't understand it. So like a parent, like they know B comes after A. Okay, but they might don't know how that sounds. Okay, so lucky guesses are not knowledge. Confident errors are serious, even dangerous, worse than ignorance. These are all findings from Professor Gardner's study. Right? So, chat. Good, yes. Okay, for the manual, I will key in your numbers. Good, excited to try CBM. I would love to see students get -6 marks. Why is that? Because you have so many confident students in your class, but wrong, right? So, share. I'm still sharing my screen, kan? Okay. So, I would like to share eLEAP. I have Calm help me set up the a dummy course page. Okay. So we do this all the time. Yeah? So first thing is to create a quiz. Find quiz. Quiz. Let's CBM quiz. All right. So it is in the setting. The CBM setup is in the setting. So you can do this. Create question behavior. It is under question behavior. So because this is the default deferred feedback, we did not notice that there is deferred feedback with CBM. So you can choose using this one or immediate feedback with CBM. So let's use this deferred feedback with CBM. And then review option. Maybe we just leave it at that. It's good for them to see their own their own performance. All right, so let's add in some question. I have some in my question bank. Okay, our dean's name, 2 + 2, Coca-Cola. Okay, I'll add all of it. So all of these are multiple choice and true, false question. So maximum grade is 4, 1 mark each. And that's it. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's log in to a student's view. Start with student 3 lah. This is a dummy student because if we try it ourselves, we cannot see the results, right? Yeah. Tanaji Sharol said, I would love to read more articles about CBM. Yes. Yes. I would like to join you, please. All right, so dummy course. So we can see CBM quiz here, that quiz now. So this is the view, student's view, the question, and then there is certainty line. So, okay, so this is just the info about it. If you think, it gives tips to the students. For example, if you think there is more than a 1 in a 3 chance of being wrong, choose C1 because C1 does not penalize you if you get wrong answer. C1 is safe choice, but it gives an indication if every question they answer with C1, we can know that these students is not confident at all, even he or she gets all correct. So that's a good information for us as lecturers, okay? To avoid the risk of negative mark. All right. So 2 plus 2 is actually, let's say, I'm not sure. Okay. So someone give me the answer by guessing and give me what is your certainty. Coca-Cola was originally yellow, black and blue, orange or green. Someone try. Don't Google lah, don't Google. B. Okay, Hadinata said B, black and blue. How sure are you, Hadinata? Give me your C level. And Google. Medium. Okay, Amy also give B, medium. Our dean's name is Associate Professor Dr. Katine binti Z. This is purposely done this way because students, they don't read. They don't read thoroughly. I always ask them, read the instructions thoroughly, read the questions properly. So this is probably example of true. For example, true the tree. Let's say, the student tak baca. Hot water will turn into ice faster than cold water. Can we, that one? Can we have no 100% sure? False, 100% sure. Finish at that. If, I have a question. If student receive negative marks, how do you translate this to their achievement? This one, I haven't gone to that far, Dr. Iwandi, because this is a introduction, but I'm really interested to see that's why I suggest not to do this in proper continuous assessment lah, just for general knowledge after the class, general test after the class. Okay, but maybe we can explore that. I will get back to you. Negative one in CLO. Right, submit all and finish. So let's see. My marks is negative 13. Although I have some questions correct. And then it gives me the breakdown by certainty. I have 2 questions. I answered C3, but both are wrong. So accuracy is 0%. Okay. So it tells me I am very overconfident using C3 in my answers. C2, 1 question I answered for C2. Accuracy pun salah, 0%. You were a bit overconfident using this certainty level. And then C1, 1 answer, very correct. You were a bit underconfident using this certainty level. So when students are given this, maybe it pushes them. And maybe it gives them the, oh, okay, oh, salah, oh, okay, something. We can add on some, this is where we can give feedback on what is the correct answer and why. Maybe that will enhance the learning better. Okay, so at the side here, you can see the CBM mark in the weight of the question. Right, so this is the one that we are correct, but a bit underconfident. So you get 1 mark here. Coca-Cola was actually green before red and white. Okay, so black and blue, medium, you are penalized here because it's wrong. But if you put C1, probably you only get 0 lah, tak ada markah. Okay, so because you put negative, you put 50-50, more than 67 correct. This thing is more than 67, right? You get -2. Our dean's name is, I put true because I didn't read carefully and I'm very confident. Right? I'm very sure. So sure is like more than 80% sure. So the correct answer is false. So here I'll get -6. I get it wrong and I'm very confident. Okay, so this one, the answer is true. The hot water will turn to ice faster than hot water. I get another -6. So -6 plus -6. Tambah lagi ni. So -14 plus 1. So my mark is -13. So the 4 here is the original maximum marks if we don't use CBM. Okay, so for CBM, the grade, the marks will be over or lower than the intended marks of the question. Okay, so minimum 3, maximum -6. The CBM lah. Alright, for this one, I haven't properly counted how they converted into percentage. Alright, so let's have another student. Answering the same set of questions. So this student is not sure of everything. Okay, maybe this one they'll show. Green, unsure. Okay, false. Forgot how it spells. Okay, true, true. These are what we call lucky guesses. Or maybe he knows, he or she knows, but everything can be, we can have a proper communication with the student. So this is 7 marks. And also, if you get correct in your C3 question, they will tell you you are okay using this certainty level. Meaning for that type of topic, for that type of question, chapter or whatever, my understanding is okay. What I think I understand is correct. Okay. So these two, a bit underconfident, a bit underconfident. And I have another student. After this, we analyze, we interpret the marks from the lecturers. Okay, so this, let's say this is a good student. In false. So if you get all wrong, all correct, you will get 12 marks. Like the 300%. The semua betul, and maximum marks for CBM is 3. Okay, so you can see at the tepi ni ada CBM mark and the weight, and everything here is given. Okay, 4 responses with high confidence, all correct. You were okay using this certainty level. Okay, we can actually brief our students on this breakdown and guide them on which part they need more work, more more readings and so on. Okay, so let's see in the lecturer's perspective. Okay, so CBM quiz, we have 3 attempts. So this is our view. So although the weightage for each question is 1, the marks here might not show the same thing lah. So you can review each attempt, same view as the student's view. You can see which part the students are overconfident but wrong. Okay, because for this quiz, I suggest not to randomize the question, because if we randomize, we don't know which question they are not sure or they are very sure. So this is where you put everything in order. Okay, jangan guna randomize, jangan guna shuffle, so that we can analyze question by question, because some question 1 probably covers chapter 1, chapter 2, and so on lah. Okay, so like this, only one student are very confident in question 3. You can see the because if we don't randomize, we know what question it is, and ini adalah other marks as well. So if we have a lot of students in our class, I suggest that creating questions based on proper topics to see overall view of the understanding level. If we have a lot of X's, maybe a lot of zeros, maybe they don't understand at all. A lot of -6, meaning they have misconception of the concept. And maybe a lot of correct answers, original marks. It means that the students know, understand, but not confident. Okay, so this is the view of the latest eLEAP. Yeah, I have saved the old one. This is the old view, like our old eLEAP. So for all eLEAP, it shows the column for CBM average. I think this helps us to analyze better. Okay, and the proper CBM bonus column, proper accuracy plus bonus column. Right? I have play around, and I cannot make this column show, probably because of the format of the new eLEAP updates, new Moodle updates. Yeah? Okay, so I like this view better, but this one works as well. Generally, yeah. Okay, because we don't have 3 students, we have many students in our class. Yeah. Okay, so that's all. I told you it's going to be short. My target is 1 hour lah, not 1 hour. Do you have any question?
Hello Nurul.
Hi, Dr. Edwin.
Ya, cantik persembahan ini.
Semangat.
Ya, saya seronok dengar ni CBM ni. Jadi saya ada beberapa clarification ni. eLEAP dah ada support ni kan?
Dah.
Dah ada.
Dah.
So kalau kita buat soalan macam ni, adakah diberi extra hours untuk student think about the CBM? Pada certainly label tu, kalau contohnya kita target exam 1 jam, adakah kita beri extra, let's say 15 minutes for our exam for them to think about, aku confident ke tak confident ni, macam tu.
Yeah, I think it depends on lecturer lah, Dr. Edwin.
Alright.
If it's macam chapter yang awal-awal, maybe you only give extra 15 minutes kah. But for yang macam, kalau macam database, for the diagram, maybe I will give extra 30 minutes. I ask in multiple choice, tapi diagram.
So that include dalam kita punya ni lah, contoh paper 2 jam setengah contoh lah. Okay, fine, good. Yang ketiga, clarification saya, marking scheme ni sebab dia ada campur tolak ni kan. Kalau confidence level 3 tapi dia penalty wrong answer negatif 6 kan.
Yes.
Jadi apabila di akhir total mark untuk student tu, adakah mark ini tally dengan our grading system? Katakan contoh 50 dapat C whatever. Katakan student ni dapat kosong. Tetapi kosong ni mungkin sama label dengan 50 markah sebab dia jawapan betul tapi mungkin dia tak confident.
Yes, betul.
Dah ada ni.
For that I'm not confident lah. That's why tadi saya recommend for this first semester dulu, because I haven't properly deep dive in dalam topik ni. So I suggest for self test first untuk biasakan student. Kalau tak memang terkejut, final zero.
Yalah. Mungkin zero yang orang dapat tu equivalent dengan 50 yang tak ada penalty level.
Betul. Sebab dalam ni I can show grades. So here grades, it shows according to the weightage yang kita set for the soalan. Ini walaupun ada salah, dia dapat 4, macam dapat full mark. Tapi we can actually analyze that, but my recommendation is to use for class activities tu.
Dah simple lah, macam quiz kan macam tu.
Yang kita tak masuk dalam assessment.
Alright. Thank you very much, Nurul. Thank you.
Lain? Tuan Haji, saya pun seronok dan dengar memang seronok, saya nervous, Tuan Haji. Okay, any other questions? Dr. Maya, ada question kah? Okay, alright. So I think thank you so much for spending 1 hour listening to me. So I think maybe we can start trying to have class activities lah, not for assessment, proper assessment yet. Kalau kita jadikan sebagai assessment yang dapat negatif tu macam mana? Itu yang, that's why this one yang haven't properly macam convert how, I think because at the end of the day, we are the ones key in the marker. So that's why I said I like the old style or all eLEAP punya breakdown. Like this, we can probably extract the marks better. Tapi no lah, not for real assessment yet lah. But but we have to use CBM in activities so that in exam dia akan biasa to think before they answer. So we give them a habit lah to create. Every time after class we do CBM. Jadi they thought maybe midterm mungkin ada CBM but not sure kah apa kah. So it will give them the feeling yang they have to think before answering lah, hopefully. Okay, but I will use this in my class this semester. It will be my first time as well, and I will tell them about CBM and have them make it into a habit to answer with an imaginary CBM thing. But easy answer, Tuan Haji Syarul. Negatif tu, kalau negatif memang salah lah. Sebenarnya salah. We can just give them no mark for that. But certainty level cuma bagi tahu how confident they are. Basically, it's a wrong answer. Okay. So I will end the meeting now. Thank you so much for attending. Bye everyone. Have a good day ahead.
Bye, Nurul.
Bye-bye.